Welcome back, listeners. Could you just not wait to see what comes next in our adventure within Momentum and with our adventuring party? Can't say that I blame you. Last time we got a little bit of an insight into our characters, the homes that they picked, and the magic surrounding the pocket dimension of Momentum, how it reacted to them and their homes and what they wanted. We also got to learn a little bit more about Bang Bang, the group's beloved adopted NPC, his instruments, his talent, and Kit and Kat asked if he wanted to join them for a musical act that they'll hopefully get to put on later tonight at the Momentum Welcoming Ceremony party. The doctor wants to do some investigating during this time because he doesn't trust Momentum. Maybe for good reason? Who knows? Before we dive in, I'd love to describe a scene for you. Give you some insight as our listeners to something going on in the background. If this were a movie, we would pan out until we see the idyllic cabin of Kit and Kat, the beautiful log cabin exterior, to the plants and the babbling brook that Kat was so excited to be a part of their home. And we see a shadowed figure there, leaning over the pond. The camera would zoom in. We would see a blurred face in the water before hand splashes across the surface. That hand would be large, powerful, slightly scaly and green. That same hand pauses, as if confused, and lifts up to get a better look at itself until the whole hand is silhouetted against the bright full moon. And then it fists angrily tight. Camera would pan away just as an angry growl filled the air. Now, what this means for our adventurers, and specifically Kit and Kat, since this is their home, I won't reveal just yet. You'll have to stick around and see the mystery unfold. Alrighty, guys. Welcome back.
Hey.
Okay. I'm going to do a quick table intro because you know what? I realized that we only did that during the first one, guys.
Wait, they don't know who we are? That's impossible.
Oh, I know, right? So starting out on this end of the table, hi, I am Emma. I am your game master, your force of nature, the voice inside your ears right now. Hopefully it sounds okay. If not, it's Justin's fault because he is on the soundboard. Speaking of which, say hello, Justin.
Hello, I'm Justin. Click to continue on Discord, and I'm playing Dr. Linus Hennings.
Okay, and we were just speaking about body language because some of us, really get into our characters for this. Taylor, give me your intro.
Well, I'm Tat and Taylor. Thanks.
Both of them, gotta knock it out.
I'm playing Kit Bar, the bard of the group. I am a Katari, with my lovely, lovely right hand. Well, everything should be pretty much my everything. My wife, Cat Bar.
Which brings us over to Jess.
Which is me. I'm Jess. I'm Kat, Salmon Bar, and also Tat's wife in real life. So we get to meet married cats and married humans. It's fun.
Yeah. Speaking of love, my wonderful, beautiful fiance on the other end of the table. Jason, you give your intro and who you're playing.
Well, as she mentioned, my name is Jason. I am playing Tibidee, a reborn Galapa sorcerer, and who is also sometimes known as Turtle Friend.
Yes, as the turtle friend to Bang Bang. I just need everyone to know that the whole Bang Bang thing's gone a little far. Like, I fully intended him to be comedic relief, like I did, but I'm gonna... Sorry if this isn't the mic, but I'm going to flip really quickly to some of my notes because there's literally a portion that I wrote that says the point that you guys decided that Bang Bang is just like must be protected. Yeah. Bang Bang is baby and must be protected. This was like last game when everyone was just like, no. We like this one.
He's ours.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing. Well, last time you guys got to describe your new homes. We got to do some preparation. And now it is the welcome bonfire and all-out rager of a party here at Momentum. I know some of us prepared. Some of us have some sneaky, schemy things we're going to get to shortly. But I'm going to start on this side of the table this time. What, my lovely married Qataris over here. You guys did a lot of practice in the afternoon. You worked with Bang Bang, taught the giant how to ham bone, threw the doctor for a loop with that one. That was fun. As you guys are sort of getting ready in your cabin right before the party, what's going on? Are you guys, picking out outfits together, finishing fluffing up your fur and stuff? What are we doing?
Well, it's the about that time, my love. Do I look okay?
Of course, darling. And she starts kind of smoothing around his ears and is fixing his whiskers and flipping his tail a little bit and straightening his jacket.
Yes.
You look magnificent, as always.
I don't know. You think Bang Bang's gonna nail that ham boning part a bit? I know that kind of threw it on him really quick, and he's.
He seems to be a fast learner, and if not, I mean, they know him.
Oh, and the gong's gonna sell it regardless.
Loves him.
Maybe just overthinking it.
Everyone's gonna be looking at you anyway.
Well, no, we'll be looking at you.
Speaking of, are these my flowers? Are they too much?
No, you'd actually use a couple more. I mean, if anything, more flowers, more beauty to add to it. Oh my goodness! Never back. In fact, remove some. You got too much going on.
And what are we wearing tonight, guys? What do you want to sort of present for your first performance?
Just a simple blue coat tonight, and golden overalls on a pretty basic outfit. It's a party, not a performance.
Okay.
She's got a golden colored, I would say it's corduroy, but it's not stiff corduroy. So when she moves, it's still flowy.
But it makes that sound.
Yeah.
When thicker fabric.
Yeah.
Sort of like those crushed velvet jumpers that we had back in the 90s for picture day. That's what I'm imagining.
But it still flows. So when she moves, it moves with her.
Okay. And I heard something about flowers, some flower crowns. So
Yeah, so she's got a crown of flowers, probably blue in color to match his jacket.
Coordinated. I love it. Very important question because, you guys were practicing and rehearsing all afternoon. Did you coordinate with Bang Bang? Did we, help him pick some stuff out?
Shit.
Oh, I got him.
You did. I didn't. I mean, we were just talking about ham boning. He was really struggling with it.
I sent some things over.
Oh, excellent.
Yes.
That's why. Yeah, man, you're too perfect.
So I would have sent him blue and golden striped shorts to go with his he still has his bells and his boots and all of the things, but he would have long shorts or maybe even pants to tuck in, not looking too clowny, but gold.
You sent the cod piece I suggested too, right? The one that really accentuates.
No, darling, I don't.
Well, that's part. I mean, mine looks excellent.
Yes, but he's a giant.
I know. So if we want to gain the attention of.
I don't know that your cod piece would fit.
It's not mine.
On
disgusting.
that
That's
note,
not mine.
we're going to jump over. Tibidee, you've been heading the books most of the afternoon. You met the very pretty Aranessa, Furbolg librarian, directed you to the right place, managed to find a couple scrolls, couple tomes, found some lore and some history on the region that you came from. Altogether, pretty interesting afternoon for you. Do you feel like Tibidee would have stopped himself to go get ready for the party, or...
Tibidee is not the type to necessarily dress up for. He doesn't have much.
Doesn't want much, I think you said.
Much, yeah. So he's gonna make sure his robes are clean and presentable, but that's about it.
Absolutely. Okay. So do you feel like Tibidee would pretty much just be at the library right to the point that they kick him out?
He would leave with enough time to make it back to his own accommodations to drop off the borrowed texts.
Okay. Absolutely. Give me, you know what, we argued this last time and I'll stick with it. Go ahead and give me an instinct roll.
Let's see here. That time it is only a 10, unfortunately, also with fear.
Well, lucky for you, I didn't need hope or fear for this one. It was just to see if you found anything.
Got enough over there anyway.
don't know what you're talking about. It's not like I started the game with 12 fear. What? You said a 10?
Correct.
Okay. Any experiences that you'd like to try and add to that? Or...
I think wait for it could work for this because he's been waiting for a very long time to get a new resource he has access to find some new information.
Sure. I can agree to that. Also, every time I hear you say that, I just want to start singing. Wait for it. 'Cause it's definitely my favorite Hamilton song. Okay, so adding that makes it
13.
Okay, that's a little bit better. So you managed to specifically find a tome called The Great Hero and His Following. It is specifically about the religious following that is from your home region. As you sort of like read through it, you know the base story. You know that long ago, according to all of the legends and all the lore, there was a great evil entity that lived in the center of your region. And he was a tyrant, and he took from the land and from the people up until a great hero arrived and took him out and slayed the demon. And the battle that ensued, the lore is that it created the massive desert area that is in the center of your home territory. And there's more. You only got about a third of the way through the tome kind of in the afternoon that you found it. There's some more in it about the following that has come of this great hero that's basically turned into a religion where you're from. So that's the most interesting thing that you found this afternoon. You head back. Bang Bang's cabin is quiet. He's probably headed over to find Kit and Kat because you did leave them practicing and rehearsing this afternoon. So jumping over to the doctor, I know where we ended last time and we'll get to that, I promise, but how do you feel the doctor would maybe get ready? Does he have anything that he particularly wants to wear or something he wants to have like with him? I know he's got some different ulterior motives for that, so that's kind of why I ask.
Yeah, the doctor, when he was younger, he definitely had more of an eye for fashion, but I think as most people do when they get older, the wardrobe starts to shrink a little bit, as well as the person. And so he only has a couple of things that he wears, and I think his going out attire is really just a better version of what he wears every day.
Yeah.
Except this time he puts on like a nice gold pocket watch that sort of changed from one side of his vest to the other.
Mm-hmm. And would you say that this pocket watch is something that the doctor holds dear, something that is important to him?
It was a gift that was given to him by a close friend, a mentor, when he was younger. But it's something he holds dear, but not it's something that he would be overly distraught to lose.
Gotcha. One of those just sort of mementos that you've carried through. But as you said, as you get older, things kind of start to lose their value. The memories are more important, all that fun stuff. All right, so you guys have all gotten ready in your own ways for the party tonight. Now, as we kind of talked about last time, normally what happens is you guys have the binding ceremony where you do the soul bind to momentum. You are brought into the ranks. They take you back to the compound. You pick your house. There's usually only about a day between there. Basically, you have the ceremony midday at Comfey. You come back, you pick your house, you have a day to settle in. And then they usually have this welcoming party. And then they start on the tour. Unfortunately, there was that unfortunate pyrotechnic accident, is what you guys were told, that caused the explosion that you guys heard. And they've been doing repairs on the stage for that. Those repairs have finished up, and now they can have this party. So it's caused about a 2-day delay, basically, from what you would normally have in this scenario. But this is just a big party. There's music, there's a table of snacks and drinks, there's sort of like a temporary standee, like a bar cart, essentially, for all different drinks and things. And the stage there's an open mic section of it, and then you guys will also be able to actually see performances from some of the inner circle, some of the other mainstay performers, and other things here in Momentum. So it's a welcome. It's an opportunity for you guys to do things if you'd like, and just an all-around good time. And there's a very large magical bonfire happening on the stage. So where you guys saw before that the back area had like kind of the raised stage area, that raised area has a very large magical bonfire happening.
I'll nudge Tibby. Like, there's a little in bad taste. They delayed this thing because of the fire, right? And now they're using the stage to. I don't know. It was kind of funny, right? Is it funny? Is it funny, guys? Doc, is it funny? Yeah. What are we talking about? The fire, the bonfire. Oh yes, yes. This whole thing is delayed and all screwy because of a fire, pyrotechnics, fire, and issue, and you know.
I need to find Bang Bang.
Speaking of Bang Bang, because you can't not hear him coming. He's an 8-foot-tall giant with bells on.
And I gave him finger symbols.
Yes. Yeah. I'm imagining he's turned them into like rings or something so that he can carry them and then just like flip them around and use them. Like that just seems because he likes to incorporate all of his noises into his wardrobe. Kat, tell me, I know you kind of started to, but tell me a little bit about the outfit that you sent ahead for Bang Bang.
So it's golden. They're primarily like golden yellow. That's what you were going with. Pants.
More like a golden
with, like,
rod.
They've got not super thick, but thicker blue, thicker than a pinstripe, but not like full stripe down the pant legs. And then one blue and one gold like cuff for his arms. And then I have a necklace of bluebells that I've made for him so he can also match my flowers that I would
Very sweet.
present to him. I was a little worried that they would get crumpled and
Not make the journey.
not make the journey, so I wanted to present that. So Bang Bang. Bang Bang.
Pretty kitty!
Hi, darling. You're a little tall. Do you mind kneeling down so I can reach over your head?
Oh, he just flat, like, crisscross applesauce like a kindergartner. Just
Falls back a little bit. Here, I made this so you can match me too. And she like puts it over his head and kind of fixes his hair around it and moves his beard.
just as a reminder, because, I know we described Bang Bang in the very first one, but Bang Bang is a large giant, large even for a giant. He's right at about like 8 foot tall. He's got skin the color of dark clay, sort of that like orangey pink color, but a dark, like it's wet clay. And he has not light blonde, very like middle of the cornfield, like middle nowhere America blonde, that like dirty blonde hair. But he always has it very long behind him, and it's always in neat braids with beads or bells or lately sometimes flowers and things. So he has it pulled back tonight. He has it pulled back in a very almost severe braid. Like it's like Targaryen level braids here, guys. Like it's like this is something he took time on. And his beard, which is normally very long, he's done into 2 sort of pigtail braids that go on either side, so that you can see the necklace that you just put on him of the bluebells.
I'm gonna kind of look at him for a second and almost perfect. And she's gonna take a couple of the pansies out of her hair and she's gonna place them carefully, like tightly in his braids.
Oh, thank you, pretty kitty. Thank
Now
you. No, pretty kitty and Kit Kat perfect. Big performance. Excite?
Yeah.
I'll hear that.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. Very excited.
And Bang Bang's going to notice that you're a little nervous. So Bang Bang is actually going to, he's going to try and comfort you, Kat. He's going to, we're going to see how well. He does have a fun experience called Large-Bodied and Able. And I think that's a good one here. Oh, good job, Bang Bang. Okay, so that's a 26 with hope. In case it matters. Not that I'm going to give myself fear, but Bang Bang gets very serious. And he kneels down gently this time. And he kind of like puts his hand on your shoulder, but you can tell he's like holding the weight off. Like he's being very careful with all of this. And Pretty Kitty is third nicest person Bang Bang has ever met.
Thank you, Bang Bang.
Behind only Mama and Turtle Friend.
Thank you, Bang Bang.
Mama say, nice in heart, come out.
Yes, thank you. This is the biggest crowd that he's used to it. It's natural to him. It's not my normal thing, but I do it for him and it's fun. It's just it's a big crowd.
When Bang Bang felt bad, Pretty Kitty smiled at Bang Bang.
Of course.
And made Bang Bang feel better.
Well, I'm glad it made you feel better.
If Pretty Kitty is scared or do something wrong, just smile at crowd. They can't not be happy if Pretty Kitty smile.
Thank you, Bang Bang. You're so sweet.
And I'm going to say, Cat, that you gain a hope from Bang Bang.
Okay.
Okay. Doctor, I'm going to say about this point is when you get to the main stage like we spoke on. Now, remind the table and our listeners, because I remember what we briefly ended on last time, but the doctor has a bit of a goal in mind.
Yeah. So the doctor doesn't think that the inner circle's on the up and up when it comes to what happened with that fire on this stage that kind of kept this party from happening. And when Kit pointed it out earlier that they were making a bonfire on stage is kind of in poor taste, he wasn't paying attention to him because he was staring daggers at the behind stage area and like trying to figure out how to get to there. And I think, if you'll allow me, what I would like to do is slink off as best I can away from everyone.
Oh, it's no problem. I'm not paying attention to you.
I was going to say, this side of the table, not a problem. Tibidee, are you... I need to know what Tibidee's doing right now.
Okay.
That's going to answer if I need to have sort of like a role here, or if it matters.
Tibidee's just kind of meandering. He's not a big fan of lots of people either. Not necessarily paying too close attention to any one thing or one person, but he's got his eyes about.
Okay. Would you say that you're more paying attention to the crowd at this point?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Doctor, you're good.
Okay. Then I think the doctor's going to try to find a dark corner, and he's going to start stripping down. He's going to
That kind of party.
take all of his...
My kind of party.
I know, right? Take all of his clothes off, lay them in a nice little neatly folded pile where he can get them. And I think you see his body literally start to melt like a used candle. And I'm going to take my beast form of a serpent, a striking serpent, and turn into a snake to try to slither through the grass to get back behind stage to find the pyrotechnics area.
Do you still have a mushroom tip?
It's not that kind of show, Tat.
Shit.
Not that kind of snake either.
Go ahead, just to be safe. Roll me. Let's do a finesse check. Just sort of a generalized stealth to make sure that no one notices the snake slithering backstage.
That is going to be a 6 with fear.
Ooh, okay. Well, you have a couple options here because I needed at least an 8. If you have any experiences that you wanted to use, or if you wanted to spend one of yours to reroll, like we always allow once per game. I say we, like I'm the generalized of everything.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll spend my 1 to re-roll.
Okay. So for those listening, I, as a homebrew rule, like to allow to spend a hope to reroll once per game because, sometimes the dice don't like us. Sometimes we need to put them in timeout and let them think about what they did.
It's better. That's a 9, but with fear.
Perfect. Perfect. So I'm going to say you did get over what I needed. So you do manage to get backstage. The fear there is going to be that as you're managing to kind of slither around that final corner towards the actual backstage area, someone, a guard or someone that's just sort of patrolling, does manage to just kind of clip the doctor's back into the tail. So you're good, but it's one of those like stub your toe moments, so to speak.
Tongue flicks out just a little bit. Yeah, so really what I'm looking for is any sign of what could have been used during that initial fire that we came across our very first day here.
Yeah, absolutely. So the setup of the backstage area for Momentum, just to kind of give a little bit of clarity and paint the scene, so to speak, for those listening to us. You have the main stage area, which we described very much like an open amphitheater. Has a little bit of covering, mostly like canvassing over the top in case of bad weather or something like that. And then you have the seats going down stadium style to that very large stage. There are 2 stage entrances on the stage themselves coming from left or right. And then if you were to go the opposite way like you did, there are sort of the equivalents of like the backstage doors, which are just arches going to hallways. I describe it sort of, and I know this because I'm a Florida gal, sort of like the Disney tunnels, like where it always leads to the back area. It's very similar to that. Like you have these doors, they lead down, but there's a couple different ones. So the one that you took specifically is going to be that main one that leads to the 2 stage entrances. And you can also get to the understage where there's like the trap doors for shows as well as storages, which is exactly what you want, because if there was some sort of a fire or complication, like they told you with the pyrotechnics and everything, that's probably where it would be. What I will give you as a freebie is that as you come around that final corner to the actual hallway, you see Harkin.
Oh, okay. What's she doing?
So right now, she is in what seems to be some sort of an altered version of her arcane wheelchair. So normally, her arcane wheelchair, it can get around. It's got sort of those like tank wheels, basically. Like they've got the big flat treads so they can get over some things, but they still can't do like stairs and things like that. This one is sort of like a hover wheelchair. There's some sort of magic imbued in it. It's probably taking quite a bit of energy from her. And then it's got like the equivalent of those mouses that have like the roller ball on it instead of clicks for her to like direct it. Right away, you notice that she is casting some sort of a magic because her eyes have that like white glow that she's not really seeing. She's casting something. And she's in the hallway, but she is sort of offset to like where it's about to go into another corner. So like if someone came down the hall, they wouldn't immediately see them, but you were paying attention. So you right away kind of clock her.
Mm-hmm. I can tell that she is maybe oblivious of her immediate surroundings.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. At the moment, she definitely is, especially as a caster. You know that when you're casting that kind of thing, you tend to be a little oblivious.
Okay.
So,
and what she is looking at, like, or where I guess you could say her arcane focus is at, would I know, like, maybe what is being stored there? Are there any signs, anything like that?
Are you asking specifically about her magic, or like maybe where her gaze is focused, or
Her gaze? Yeah.
Okay. Her gaze is sort of like daydream gaze. Like it seems like she's casting something specific here. Now, what I can tell you is you want to make a roll and add whatever your casting attribute is, then you can try and tell what kind of magic she's doing.
Okay. It's an instinct roll, so it is a 10, but with fear.
Okay. Good news, this was just a reaction, so I did not need your fear or hope. I forgot to say that, because you're just trying to see if you can tell what kind of magic is. You as a magic user, that will get it. She seems to be doing sort of an area read. It's not necessarily your forte in magic, but it's similar enough. She's probably trying to get like a past event, or maybe get like magical residue. It seems like she's doing some sort of like a seer take on the immediate area.
Okay, so kind of what I'm doing, but in a more spellcasty game.
Very much. Yes, very much.
All right.
So you can very easily slur past her to get to like the understage area, like you were kind of trying to get to. She won't notice. You're perfectly fine. It's awesome.
Yep, so I go past her and slither into the area under the stage.
Yeah, absolutely. The first thing that you notice is that it's just a stage room. There doesn't seem to be any immediate signs of like renovation, no like new paint smell, no like sawdust or plaster dust. You actually even notice that some of the store boxes down here seem to have dust on them, like normal, like they haven't been touched in a while dust.
Would the doctor think, because as a player, I think this, but would the doctor think that the fact that it looks like it hasn't been touched, that there is no smell of, recent paint is more odd than if there would be, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. This definitely tingles the logic side of the doctor's brain more so than anything. But it also just sort of like ticks that checkbox that you were probably on your way to confirm.
Well, I think that if I don't see anything else that's out of the ordinary down here, in fact, it's a little bit too ordinary, I'm gonna make one more sort of pass around the underside out, and if Harkin is still there, just kind of slither past her and go back to where I came in from.
I will say, this entire experience is collectively going to take the doctor about an hour.
Yep.
In the sense that, like, you have entered the party, you have found your dark corner, you have turned into wild shape, you have then slithered down the hallway, you have done the full checks, you have stealthed, all those fun things. Collectively, start to finish, it's going to be about an hour. Harkin's going to be gone when you get back to the hallway. When you come back to the party, you'll see that she's sort of mingling about, but she's definitely staying, like, on the outliers of the crowd itself.
Okay.
So
I think I'm just gonna keep an eye on her from a distance, but make sure that, I don't lose her.
Sure thing. Jumping over to a different side of the party, my dear Katari friend, Kit.
Yeah, hey.
Hey, hi. So your lovely bride has been whisked away with Bang Bang. They're going to do some final checks, but she told you not to worry about it. She said, keep mingling, keep doing what you do with the crowd and the fans. There's no need for you to worry about all of those little things, that she and Bang Bang can take care of that. And as you're sort of mingling, you see a familiar face. You see Dendric, the original member from the Inner Circle of Momentum, the bard that you were very excited to meet, and the one that is also Bang Bang's uncle.
So, Dendric, you're gonna have to explain to me how, in God's name, you guys are actually related.
Yes. So, my sister, you see. I'm going to do this first before I get into him talking. Kit, give me an instinct roll while he starts speaking.
Okay.
I believe in you.
12 with fear.
Okay, perfect. You got high enough to read that he tenses up when you bring up Bang Bang. But the fear on this is just going to be that he seems like generally annoyed with Bang Bang anyway, so you're just going to kind of attest it to that. And it's not going to, like, click what it might actually be for you. But he does tense up when he starts talking about Bang Bang. And he goes on to tell you that there was this big war between the Mountain Dwarfs, his tribe specifically, and the Mountain Giants, who are a newer tribe that have kind of come in, started populating on the specific mountain that his family has lived in for generations and hundreds of years. There was a big, long war, ended badly for the Giants, and as a respect, because his clan does have two different sides. They have the warrior side and the bardic side. So as a respect to a good battle, they took in all of the orphans of war, and Bang Bang was one of them. Now, sadly, Dendric and his sister were the only two that survived from their specific family, where before they were one of the main 10 families that were in charge of the Dwarven clan. His sister had always wanted children, but unfortunately she was barren. She couldn't have kids, and her husband died in the war. So she took a very personal vested interest in the orphans of war, and when Bang Bang as a baby giant was brought in, he immediately showed sort of a love for music and noise, and she personally adopted him. So they're not blood related, they're extended related.
Right. That part was obvious, but he's got a real talent. I think I could use him in my act.
When you say that, Dendric's eyes kind of light up for a moment. And he leans in. And you guys are you're around like the drink table right now that's been set up. And he's got kind of like a goblet in his hand. And he's been kind of like nursing it for a while. But he kind of leans in almost conspiratorially. And he's like, Kit. It was Kit, right?
Yeah, Kit. Mm-hmm.
I think that that's a great idea. You know, I will be the first to admit that Bang Bang does indeed have a gift for music. There's never been an instrument that I haven't been able to teach him, and he has that. But I, unfortunately, have not been able to teach him finesse. He just doesn't quite have the same bardic tastes that I do, that you understand. You have to have a certain...
Yeah, of course, I understand.
Oh, I know. We're birds of a
Only
feather,
the
us, sir.
only-
Of course. I would be very inclined to allow you to continue working with my ward if you would be willing to sort of keep an eye on him, if you and your beautiful blushing bride wouldn't mind taking him under your tails, so to speak.
I'll kind of look across the crowd,
Mm-hmm.
get an eye on Kat, see where she's at, and well, I'd have to talk it over with the missus, but she seems to take quite the liking to him also.
Yeah. As you glance across the crowd, Kat and Bang Bang are up on stage. They're doing a talk with one of the stagehands. Looks like they're testing out a couple. Magic and technology here are sort of a crossover, especially when it comes to the performance world, as you know. So these like what we would equivocate to like lavalier mics, but are basically like sort of magic crystals to amplify. And so they're testing them out. Bang Bang, you see him get really like freaked out by one of the feedbacks. And then you see Kat just reach up and like pat as high up on his arm as she can. And then he just like melts and like immediately tries to like shield her from the giant speaker. And it just sort of warms your heart a little bit, this little like interaction that you see between them.
Maybe that'll quote any ideas for kittens anytime soon. I really, you know what I'm saying? I'm not ready for that yet. You get it, right, Dendric? I mean, you obviously have Bang Bang. I'm just a little too young for that. I think I got my whole career ahead of me with this before we even start to... I've been drinking a little too much.
Oh, no, I understand. You know, even married, sow those wild oats when you can and enjoy yourself, whether, you know, it be performing with your beautiful bride or just in life. I spent a very long portion of my life enjoying, and I'm just getting to the point where I want to enjoy it with, you know, people around me. And he does kind of glance a little over your shoulder at that statement, but then he'll lean in again and he's going to say, he's like, I'll tell you what, I already see promise in you, Kit. I meant it when I said that I saw that performance of yours. And I truly do understand where you're coming from, thinking that Bang Bang could work in your act. Again, I kind of see this as a mutually beneficial thing. He just doesn't quite take to me, and I don't take to him, but he seems to take to you. So I am truly happy to let him continue working and performing with you, but I would also be more than happy to move around some performance slots, or maybe feed some of the ticket sales to you and your bride. Just, I want to make sure that it's worth your while too, and I already see such promise.
Well, I tell you right now that you're not going to really need... Once the crowds know that I'm performing, I don't think seating tickets for my show is going to be much of an issue, but you add Bang Bang's gong to that, it's going to top off. It's going to be the cherry on top of the cake.
Well, it sounds like we have a good little business deal, barring, of course, the approval of your blushing bride. And he's going to hold his hand out, sort of like waiting for a shake.
I'll spit in my hand and shake it.
He doesn't flinch. He's a dwarf. He knows. Amazing. Doctor, you have kind of been mingling back through the crowd. And I'm going to say after probably your second or third pass, just sort of around everybody, avoiding a couple knees and so to speak, you sort of end up by like the snack table. They've got a nice little spread out, everything along the lines. And you hear the lightest auras of like magic kind of behind you. And of course, as you glance over, you see Harkin in her wheelchair, the altered one for this evening. And she sort of does her little sideways nod at you and, Doctor, it's great to see you this evening.
Oh, well, Lady Harkin, it's always a pleasure to see you. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing very well this evening, Doctor. I was rather hoping you wouldn't mind terribly continuing the conversation that we had the other day. I might have come upon some interesting information about the incident.
I think the doctor kind of glances up at the stage and then back at her. Well, any excuse to speak to you is one I will take.
Oh, you're too kind. And she's going to sort of gesture towards one of the side entrances. Again, it's set up like an amphitheater, so there's many that sort of lead outside. You guys are up near the top. Once you guys get kind of outside, just into the walkways that lead down into the amphitheater, much quieter. Sort of the party itself is muffled. It's starting to get a little loud. Everyone's drinking, having a time. The performances have started, all those fun things. So as you guys get outside, Harkin's demeanor changes. She always has, again, I like to call it that sort of like Mona Lisa smile. She kind of has like a mystery behind it. But as soon as she gets past where she knows the crowd can hear you guys, she's going to lean forward kind of as best she can in the wheelchair, and she's going to say, I fear that it was very much what we both assumed. I can't find any lingering of the kind of fire or accident that they told us happened. What I can find through a little bit of sleuthing of my own is a lot of magical residue.
Very interesting. Well, I can say I didn't do any magical sleuthing, but I will say that I definitely agree with you that they're taking pains to make it seem, at least, like they're not trying to cover something up.
I agree. I know that it's not common knowledge, but did you hear what happened toward the middle of Momentum's tour last year? You have not. Specifically, you hadn't heard anything except for that Momentum did their tour last year. The last time you remember hearing news was that this year's initiates was the lowest number that they've had in years.
Well, no way. I can't say that I have. Do you mind regaling me?
So, Harkin goes on to tell you that last year, as Momentum was making its way through the same region that you guys are in currently, the Pewani region, which is always the first region that they work through during their tour. But when they got to the city of Vesiel, which is about 4 stops away from you guys are currently, the show was boycott. As in, no tickets were sold. There was a large group within the city that swore up and down that one of their own had signed on with Momentum a year or 2 prior, but there was no ledger of this person. There was no history of them. Even some of the people that they swore were this person's own family didn't remember them. But there were people who swore that it happened. And so there was a really big sort of how-to, again, a boycott for that particular show. And she goes on to kind of say that it wasn't made common knowledge, but that she happened to be traveling through the area at the time. She was following a bit of a rumor for her personal patron. And so she actually managed to be there when it was happening last year, and it sort of put Momentum on her radar originally.
Well, that's very disturbing, to say the least. You wouldn't happen to have caught maybe a name that these villagers were throwing out?
I didn't, unfortunately. I came a little late to the party, so to speak. But the reason I bring it up, Doctor, is because it's not the only rumor and sort of hidden in shadows that I've heard about Momentum. I'll be completely honest with you. I did not join upon fully honest startings. I believe that there is something going on here that may not be entirely above board. I'm just concerned, and unfortunately it's also a vested interest of my patron, because that's just how she is. And I am, but a pawn to her whims sometimes. It comes with the territory. She says it very lightheartedly, like she's accustomed to it. I believe that there's more to it. Nothing can be this all-powerful. Nothing can be this perfect, in my opinion.
I'll agree with you on that. It always seems like the houses that have the shiniest coat of paint are the ones that tended to burn down the most recent. I will say that in your investigations, if you're all right with it, would really like to join you.
I would welcome that. I believe that you might be one of the few people that see beyond the glitter, if you understand. And I think I felt that from the beginning, but I have to be careful when saying such things.
Right. Of course, yes. Patron notwithstanding, of course, but I'll share any notes that I have, and I assume that you do the same.
Yes, I'm very amicable to that agreement, and I think that our partnership can help.
I believe so as well. I've got a little handout.
And she'll take it and give it a shake. On another end of the party, Tibidee, are you just having the best time with all of this noise and people are starting to get drunk and somebody has started playing a sitar somewhere?
My bad.
I have never been in a situation where I could not find a good enough hiding spot.
Yeah? Describe for me. Where is Tibidee hiding?
Well, that's the problem. He can't find a good one. So he's moving around trying to find somewhere to, stay out of the way and, not get a migraine that's going to last all night.
Oh no. Poor Tibidee. I will say, if you wanted to leave the party itself, you have reached your level of necessary social mana, is what Emma calls it. You absolutely could. What's more is that because it is a quieter evening in the rest of Momentum, you could even kind of go through the barrier, go outside to the forest, and maybe, I know that's probably a safe spot for Tibidee, being sort of like in nature, away from things. So you would be okay if you wanted to. Also, it's enough into the evening that everyone's drunk enough they probably wouldn't notice.
Yeah, he's still kind of looking out, just keeping his eye out for, any shady things that he's going on, because much like others, that he doesn't fully trust this organization.
That's fair enough. Okay. Well, the good news is that you guys are sort of rolling around to the end of the evening. Kit, you and your lovely bride and your new friend Bang Bang, you guys managed to do a short performance slot, which was promised to you. I'm not going to make you roll for it because you guys are still workshopping. You're still figuring each other out. It goes well enough, and everyone enjoys what you guys do, but you're well aware you guys are going to need a little bit more time together. You're going to need to be figuring it out. But I will say, you feel different with this performance. You very much can feel the potential of what you guys have on stage.
You see, Bang Bang, those finger cymbals, that's the key. It's not as loud as your gong, but you just click your little fingers together, your fingers together, and then it's it's perfect. I love it. But it could be a little more precise. Just think of it like you're picking your nose. You want to be careful you don't stab your brain, right?
Oh, I'm just imagining your wife rolling her eyes and trying not to say anything. But Bang Bang, of course, is just ever since you guys in his cabin performed together and you guys got to use his different instruments and you were just so willing to hear him, every time you speak, Kit, he just wants to soak up your words. He is just enamored when you open your mouth, and not in the way that most people are because you're entertaining, but he is looking at you he can learn so much.
So we're here like this. I'm gonna strum on this mandolin a little bit, and in the break, I want you to go ding ding ding.
Okay,
just like that, ding ding ding.
Okay, Kit Kat, I do. And he does. It's a lot better this time. You guys kind of go back and forth. As you guys are kind of sitting towards the edge of the stage right after your performance, you kind of gather a small crowd and they're listening and they start clapping along. Someone starts singing eventually. And I'm going to bring the party to a close at that point. You guys have a wonderful evening. Very last thing we're going to do for this game session, we're going to time skip a little bit here. We're going to go back to my dear turtle friend. Tibidee, the next morning, you've been asked. You were told by one of the sort of roaming guards, patrols that they have within. You were asked to come up to that barrier, the gate that you entered through, the next morning at dawn. They just said that Agni asked if you would meet them up there, and that's all you were told.
Normally I'm an early riser, so probably get up a little bit earlier just to get there ahead of time.
So as you pass through the barrier, you feel that again, that sort of ice bucket water over you. You don't know how long it's going to take you to get used to that one. You step out into the forest. It is gray morning. little humid. It rained last night, so it has that sort of like dewy humidity hanging in the air. You see Agni a couple steps away from the barrier, looking out across the forest path, just sort of crackling softly.
Well, as I approach, I'll call out, "Morning, Agni. Understand you wish to speak with me."
Yes, Tibidee. Thank you for my interesting and early request.
How can I help you?
I wished to show you the process of moving the barrier. And he gestures back over to that again, how we described last time, the sort of welded together almost rock arch that is the entrance to Momentum. And you at this time notice that there is a young Simia boy. There's also a orc woman, and they're on either side of the barrier. And they sort of nod at you, but they don't speak. And Agni sort of nods his head at them, and they both turn to the barrier, and their hands glow with what you know are arcane rings. They're rings that are imbued with specific magic. So as they begin doing this process, Agni speaks. It kind of narrates it to you. You see, Tibidee, momentum is built into a pocket realm. It is its own powerful form of magic. It is very representative of those of us within momentum. But to move it is a very delicate process. It is one that only myself and a few others are aware of. I hope that now that you are one of us, that I could share that knowledge with you.
I'm very honored that you thought of me and that we have enough of a good relationship that you can trust me. Feel like that you can trust me with something like this.
And he gives sort of a laugh. And Agni's laugh is interesting because it sort of sounds like when a log on a fire like falls, and it's that sort of like crackly noise that I'm not going to ruin my voice by trying to do because I'm already doing his voice. But it's not a malicious sound. He genuinely sort of like laughs at what you said. And Tibidee, I would not have entrusted you with momentum invitations if I didn't believe that you were at least a modicum of good at heart.
I feel like my actions have proven that thus far.
And he sort of gives that like vague nod that he does very often, because it always seems when you're dealing with Agni that there's something else going on in the background. Could be the millions of voices in his head, could be him in general. He could just be an airhead for all we know. We have no idea. Or a firehead maybe? I don't know what we're gonna call it there. Hothead.
But
For the next hour, he's gonna show you. So what has to happen when momentum moves is that whichever two arcane individuals that are helping at that moment, he goes on to tell you there's only about 10 people within momentum that are allowed to do this arcane magic. There are people that have been there for years and years and years, or people that are like family members to legacy members of everything, whatever it might be. They have to very carefully move the base of the arch, and that gets moved onto a cart. That cart is then transported, but the wards on the cart have to be checked and occasionally redone throughout whatever journey is happening. It's very important that during the transport, if the arch kind of stumbles and moves and things, it's not going to hurt the pocket realm. But if the magical wards are hurt or something happens, it could be. So that's why they sort of go through this process.
Wouldn't want the door to crumble closed.
It's very much so. Bad things could happen. As they finally get it kind of put in the cart, the Simia and the orc woman jump up on the cart. One stays in the back, one in the front, and they kind of start to go. Not go, but like get everything set, pardon me. And Agni kind of turns back to you, and he is sort of floating like he normally does, just like a little bit of a foot or two above the ground. And he sort of leans down. He says, I hope that you will join me on a few more of these moving outings. I would much appreciate teaching you this, for I believe that you could be an asset and perhaps assist in it at one point.
Well, now that I'm part of Momentum, whatever I can do to help.
Much appreciated, friend.
Is this, just out of curiosity, is this something that you are always looking for just for safety in numbers, or has there been a loss recently from one of the previous members that was in this capacity?
Agni stays quiet for a long moment. Long enough that you almost consider asking again, because you do know sometimes they can kind of get caught up.
Hot airhead.
Yeah, hot airhead. But then he finally sort of speaks up. They speak up again, pardon me. And they say, there are many things the general public don't know or understand of Momentum. Unfortunately, with all the good, as with anything, there are downsides. There are those who question, those who fear, and those who seek to oppose. I do not begin to think that Momentum is the end-all by any means. Just that I do know what we are at our core. Innovation, family, forward movement. All forward movement throughout history is questioned at one point and another. Unfortunately, that does mean certain protections must be used.
Tibidee does not say this out loud, but in his mind he's saying, what an incredible non-answer.
Yerp. That. Agni gives sort of a smile, like he knows that, and not necessarily that he reads your thoughts, but just like he can kind of read your language enough to know that this is going to satisfy you for now, but maybe not forever. But he does nod, and then he sort of gestures you back to the portal, and he says, sure you'd like to get a bit of more rest, or perhaps find our friend Bang Bang. He seems to have taken a liking to you and the kits and cats and the doctor.
All right. Well, is the gate able to be traversed while it's being moved?
You would normally not, but I have asked them to hold off on movement until you get back through. I am on first guard duty with them.
Okay. Well, that's part of what I was wondering, if while the gate itself is traveling, if access was going to be restricted. So good to know before I try and take a break outside.
He chuckles again and nods. And you kind of head your back. As you are about to head back through the portal, give me, let's do an instinct. And that homebrew experience that I told you guys about, and as a reminder for our listeners, each of my lovely players has a homebrew experience that they're only allowed to use when I say it so. In this case, Tibidee's is right place, right time. And that's going to be your +2 that you can add to whatever your roll here.
Good thing.
I don't need hope or fear on this. This is just a vibe check.
Yeah, I was just adding. 10.
Okay. Just squeaked by on that, my love. You go through the portal. And sort of in that last second, I'm going to say you kind of are like dreading that ice bucket moment again. And so you sort of like pause and glance back over your shoulder. And as you do, you see Agni, and they're staring out to the forest again. But this time specifically, they're not staring like they normally do. You're used to them sort of like always meandering and looking, and anytime you've asked, they always say it's because they're just kind of feeding off the world, always looking out for new members. This time, Agni's eyes are very much scouting. You know this look. You've done it plenty of times. and they are on alert. You don't know for what. You don't know why.
We're going to be able to take a quick glance to
See if they
general
see
area
anything.
where they're looking.
Sure. It's going to be another instinct check. If you want to add any of your experience to that, that's up to you. You will not get the same one.
I don't need it. Because that's a crit. Double force.
All right. You glance to where Agni's looking. And at first you don't really see anything. It's just a early morning forest scene. Just a friend looking out a little suspiciously. Sun just sort of starting to peek over the treetops. But as you sort of think of what might trigger Agni, what might actually make him pay attention, you pick up on little things that you wouldn't normally. There's some like ration scraps a couple trees back. There's some tree branches that have been snapped by someone probably traversing through the trees. There's just these little minute items that there were probably people here. And if your instinct is right, they were scouting out the momentum entrance.
And looks like Agni has spotted the same things that I just said. Okay.
Yes.
So I will keep that little nugget of information and pass it back through the portal.
Okay. So you start heading back down to your cabin, your area, your new home. And everyone's starting to kind of wake up around you. You hear the telltale signs of Bang Bang, his alarm clock of the many noises going off, and him singing some song as he's cooking breakfast. You hear different cabins again starting to wake up and do things. And I think that little sort of like wide panel shot of our turtle friend walking back is the perfect place for us to call this episode. Thank you so much for listening in to this episode of Momentum. I hope that you enjoyed your time in our little pocket dimension of adventure. Next time, the group gets to finally make their way to the silvery streets of Hollywood, a city entirely centered around entertainment, bards, and everything that glitters. Another exciting piece of information for you lovely listeners, we're going to have a special guest star for one game only, a couple episodes, but one session only. We are going to have this guest star with us in Hollywood. Who it is, you'll have to come back and see. In the meantime, if you don't want to wait and listen to something else just as equally cool as Momentum, you could check out the Dodoborn Crew, a Real Play Daggerheart podcast. Queen of Daggers, Heart of Fire, another one that just started season 2 as of this recording. We also have the Tales by Daggerlight group that once again just got some really cool commission art by yours truly. And don't forget to check out our Discord server. We've got all kinds of really cool actual plays, running games, one-shots. We post all of these online. You can find those links on here with all of our server information. But until next time, guys, stay nerdy.